Oh, yes. What's going on, everybody? It's your Uncle Weezy here to give you the four-leg parlay, and we're going to make it real greasy this week for UFC Orlando, which is going to be headlined by Stephen Wonderboy Thompson against Kevin Holland. Really looking forward to all the fights on this card. This is a really fun card from top to bottom. Getting a late start, going to be up late watching fights, and I'm really looking forward to it. Now, I know that there are a bunch of other people live right now, so I'm just going to kind of keep this to a minimum and talk to the people in the comments and then give you all four legs of this parlay. And I just want to shout out everybody that is in the chat right now. We got my guy Victor De Jesus in the room saying, "Oi, yes, let's cash some greasy four-leggers. Let's get it, Vic." And we Bob Spikerman saying, "Uncle Weezy, the undisputed champ, the pound-for-pound OG. I appreciate you, brother." We got Dick's Insider saying, the Alcohol and Gaming Commission of Ontario notified sportsbooks today that they must stop offering and accepting wagers on Ultimate Fighting Championship events. Thanks, James Krause. Yes, sir. Obviously, that's horrible news for anybody that's from there and likes to bet on the UFC. And I think that it'll be something that comes to a conclusion, hopefully pretty quickly. But my worry is that this story goes deeper than what we already know it does. That's what I'm really worried about here, because to suggest that the entire UFC has an integrity problem because of one fight where a coach knowingly spread inside information and was running a Discord which was giving out, betting advice. And I think what James did was, in a respect, market manipulation, because the inside information clearly got to a ton of people, and that is evidenced by the line movement that happened in the hours before the fight, and then the conclusion of the fight. So the line movement was correct. The props that were getting smashed, were paid off, and the bookies got left holding the bag there. But right now, it looks like there is some kind of investigation about this in terms of what's going on with Krause, specifically with the Discord community that he had that's been shut down. The YouTube channel has been removed. What I'm worried about is that this may have happened in other fights, and that there might have been other investigations that have already been going on about this, and they feel that it's not an isolated incident. That's what I'm worried about here, because then it could spread outside of Ontario, and we could have a situation where the UFC has a very unique problem here with integrity, due to the fact that they don't pay their fighters shit. It's really hard to pay somebody like LeBron James to throw a game, for instance, to point shave, to do anything like that. If you were going to try to pay somebody that already is worth $1 billion, to shave points or to achieve some kind of objective in a high, in a game that's, a big game, where there's going to be a lot of money out there, you can't do that. The cost is just too much. But when a fighter is getting paid $12,000 to show and $12,000 to win, and they're a huge favorite or a huge underdog, you could have situations where, you can make more money throwing a fight, or predetermining an outcome, than in one fight than you could in your entire UFC career, which could span 10 fights. I mean, if you know that, like, for instance, I'm going to let this guy submit me in the second round, and that, your opponent by second round submission is going to be something that's predetermined and is paying 22-1, you could spread some bets out amongst a bunch of different books and make six figures in one day, and that's the problem here, is that there might be evidence to suggest that this goes deeper, and the reason that evidence might be available is because James Krause couldn't keep his fucking mouth shut, and because James Krause did a bunch of really dumb things in terms of offering the account takeovers, talking about how he had $3 million on David Onama, and then claiming after Onama lost that they had laid off a certain amount of that action as well. And that he's running a Discord. He's giving gambling advice while training fighters. And then one of his fighters blatantly goes out there hurt. There's blatantly inside information available to some people. They acted on that information. They moved the market in a massive way. And the way that the market moved was absolutely correct. So we got problems right here. And this needs to be looked into. I have a feeling there's probably going to be some subpoenas. They're going to make an example, I think, out of the people that were involved in this, and make sure that it never happens again. Because if the integrity of the market isn't there, you're not going to find people willing to make markets. Bookies aren't going to be willing to make markets in the UFC if they know that there are people openly and out in the open just moving markets with inside information. So I didn't want to go on a diatribe about that, but that's what I have to say about that. We got King of NPCs saying Croatia actually has had more major promotion champs than Dagestan, but he gets no recognition. If Magomed wins, they'll be tied. Wow, Croatia? That's wild. I mean, Krokop and I forget who else, but dude, Croatia's even moving on to the next. Or no, did they? Yeah, I think they're moving on to the next round of the World Cup. They're always good. Shout out Croatia. It's a beautiful, beautiful country with great people. Gabe, yo, what's up, dude? Good to see you here, Gabe. Dope Space Cowboy saying James Krause must be ousted like Pete Rose. Yeah, I mean, it's rough. And Insane is here saying, oi, yes. And we got Antonio Esparza saying, oi. And we got DFS by the numbers saying, yes. And we got Cole Stein saying, let's go on Grease. And we got Insane saying, who's live? Right now, Manpreet and Cody are live on the All-Star doing Propping You Up. Addicted to Combat is live right now with Blood Money MMA Bets on Addicted to Combat's channel. So, yeah, there's some good shows on right now. Let's go, baby. Let's shave ass, says Desi. We got MMA Propaholic in the room saying, oi. Antonio Esparza saying, real quick, thoughts on the Elkins Pierce under 2.5 at minus 132. I think it should be minus 250-ish. I think it's a good bet. I think it's a very good bet. Pierce's fights have finished inside the distance 4 of 5 times at the UFC level. So I like that bet. And I think that with him being a big favorite, should shade it to being more than minus 132 for sure. Kyle Kelly saying, hey, Unc, let's stack them high. I hope that UFC ban doesn't go across all of Canada. UFC betting is my main income. I really hope it doesn't, Kyle. And even if it does, I think in the short term, they're going to have to focus an investigation on the people that they think are involved. And if they're unable to do that, then you're going to have to start looking into getting VPNs and going to offshore books, plain and simple. This is something that we shouldn't have to pay the price here. I mean, specifically me, I lost money on Derek Minner. I had a first-round submission bet on Derek Minner. I was trying to hit it big, didn't work out. I lost money. And to think that there are people in Canada who had Derek Minner bets and they got fucked and now they can't even bet on the UFC. It's unbelievable. Yeah, sorry to spoil the rum, but fuck James Klaus. Yeah, head of Ontario here. God damn it, man. That sucks. Oh, let's go. Greasy as must be this card. Yes. Still have my bets not voided yet. That's good, Rob. Hopefully they don't get. Uncle Weezy, is there anything bad about using offshore bookies? I have Bet Online. I've had no problems with them. Very, very good book. They get their lines out early, competitive lines. Not always the best props. You can't parlay a lot of shit there, but and they won't let you out of bets that you've already made too. So there are some things not to like about it, but frankly, they have good markets. They put out a variety of props, and they're usually first to market with a lot of different lines. So there's, in my opinion, there's no downside to it. As long as the book has a good reputation, that's what's most important. And let's get Greasy, says my guy Papa Chuck. Mike Morris saying, oi. We got Insane saying I had TJ. Yeah, I mean, How could you not be annoyed by that? But look, you guys, we've got to get leg one going here. And the leg one of the Greasy four-legger this week is going to be the under 2.5 rounds for Levy versus Valdez. And if I share my screen with you guys here, we can see for the Levy-Valdez fight, if I zoom in here on the prop template, which is available on my Patreon, the under 2.5 at minus 220 is 68.75% implied probability. I don't like this line at all, to be honest with you. I think this is my least favorite leg of the Greasy four-legger this week. So if you guys have any recommendations what I should change it to and I like it better than this, I'll take it, because this line is something that I bet earlier in the week at minus 115. Now, that's a bettable line. Minus 220 is just getting ridiculous. But Genaro Valdez has never seen the scorecards, a 100% finish rate. So, you like seeing that. But for Levy, it's only 37.5. So I think this line is juiced to the tits. It's my least favorite line. I think I might switch it out for the under 2.5 in the Hermanson to Lidze fight. But either way, that's what leg one is. So we'll put that in there for now. And let me know in the comments if you've got a better idea than that. So that's leg one. Leg two is going to be one of my tracked bets. Well, actually, Levy Valdez is a tracked bet, but it's at minus 115. The Tracy Cortez by decision at plus 130, which is available here on Draft Kings Sportsbook right now. So we're going to go to fight props. Or I'm sorry, no, we're going to go to winning method, and we're going to scroll down here to the Levy Genaro Valdez, not that one. Tracy Cortez, Amanda Ribas, actually. Oh, and this is double chance. Method of victory here. And we're going to go Tracy Cortez to win by decision at plus 130. I like Tracy. I like her wrestling. The fights against Egger and Gatto, I think, proves that she has the skill set to deal with the best areas of the skill set that Amanda Ribas is going to bring to the cage. Amanda Ribas has really, really good judo. She's got really good submission grappling, and she's got good top control. But, Cortez has shown over and over again that she's fantastic in the scrambles, that when she gets stuck on the bottom, it's not for long, and that her wrestling is always excellent, and that per takedown, she's just controlling her opponents for long swaths of time. She's undefeated as a professional in decisions. And that's a testament to how good she is at winning minutes while she's in the cage. She crafts game plans to accentuate her strengths, which is wrestling, control time, top control, good ground and pound, and decent serviceable striking so that she's not losing minutes at distance striking range, like some pure grapplers tend to. I think she's great all around, and I think she's going to easily get this job done. It's one of my favorite bets of the week, Tracy Cortez by decision. So leg number 3 is going to be Uncle Weezy's ass shaving of the week, JSP, Jonathan Pierce, inside the distance at minus 115. In order to access that bet, we go up here to DraftKings. We go to method of victory, double chance, and we're going to scroll down to that fight here. And it's going to be Jonathan Pierce to win by KO, TKO, DQ, or submission at minus 115. Look, he's Uncle Weezy's ass shaving of the week. He's much younger. He's a much younger, more powerful, better wrestler version of what Darren Elkins is. And he's very, very durable as well, just like Elkins is. But I just see Pierce getting this job done inside the distance. He's such a relentless pace to deal with. And we've seen Elkins deal, like the recent wins for Elkins are not what you would call inspiring. If we look at Darren Elkins' stats here and we look at the wins, they're Tristan Connolly, Derek Minner, and Eduardo Garagori are the last wins that he got before January of 2018. So those are the 3 wins, and he's got 5 losses on his record to guys like, Cub Swanson, who's getting up there, Landwehr, Ryan Hall, Ricardo Lamas, and then Alexander Volkanovski. We're not going to blame him for that one, are we? But look, I just think that right now Pierce is on a different level. The pace that he puts out is something that few men can handle. And when he gets on top, he's just relentless with the ground and pound and submission attempts. And I see him probably getting a ground and pound finish. And I'm probably going to play a little bit of Pierce round 3 and maybe even Pierce round 3 KO at plus 1,600 as a prop sprinkle this week, maybe to try to hit a home run. But yeah, Uncle Weezy's ass shaving of the week. Jonathan Pierce to win inside the distance is leg number 3. And then leg number 4 is going to be the main event over 2.5 rounds. Holland versus Thompson at minus 145. So let's go to the alternative totals here. We'll go to fight lines. We'll go to alternative total rounds. And we'll scroll all the way down to the bottom here where we've got the over 2.5 at minus 145. That chalks up to plus 956 here. The reason I'm going over 2.5 at minus 145 here is if we go back to the prop template, first of all, Kevin Holland is incredibly durable. So I always like the chances that he's going to be able to handle whatever somebody else dishes out. And we've only seen Wonderboy Thompson knocked out once in the UFC. We've seen him knocked down a few times, but never only knocked out once. And Holland is a guy who will play at distance a while and, isn't necessarily really high volume or anything. And, Thompson's a good striker, obviously. The guy is been doing this for a very long time. I think he's going to be able to last 2.5 rounds with Kevin Holland. So minus 135, that's a 57.45% implied probability. But we're looking at minus 145 at DraftKings. So that is a 59% implied probability. But if we go to the 5-round analytics here for welterweights, over 2.5 happens 67% of the time. And we can also look here at the Thompson Holland because we're only paying 59, but it's happening 67% of the time. And we see that they're also going over 2.5 rounds. That number is 57% of the time. And in 5-round fights, they're actually going over 2.5 rounds at a higher percentage than that. So definitely like the over 2.5 here at minus 145. Let's see what you guys are saying in the comments here. Let's see. Yeah, MMA Propaholic saying same here. Weezy, we got it's a wide line, but seems safe. Yeah, I agree. It's wide as fuck, but that's the reason I threw it in there, Brady, is because I'm like, at least it feels safe. At least if this does go over 2.5, you're gonna be like, really? That's the one that busted it. Because Valdez is just, we can count on a guy with a 100% finish rate for and against, to get out there. But Levy is a guy who will take his time sometimes. RDA inside the distance could make it very boosty. Yeah, it could, but I'm worried about that because, Barberena has been fairly durable and RDA has not been a great finisher at the UFC level. Like if we go to these numbers here on the prop template, we can see that Brian Barberena has been finished in only 2 of 6 losses, and Dos Anjos has only finished 8 of 20 wins. So like less than 40%, of Dos Anjos' combined wins and Barberena's combined losses, which is going to be 10 of 26. 10 of 26, 10 divided by 26 equals 38%. And 38% is not an inspiring number when you're, you'd need to be getting almost plus 200 to feel good about that one. We need another Weezy life story. Let's go. Dude, we'll do story time with Uncle Weezy for sure. For real, Rob, Weezy frat story had me crying. Yeah. Dude, I've got a lot of fraternity stories. Love it. Let's stack them, says Cole. Rob Lawrence likes it. All right, good. This parlay is looking greasy. It sure is, man. It's a big one. BetOnline only has over 4.5. Do you have a replacement idea? I don't mind the over 4.5 either, Insane. but I don't even know. Yeah, I don't mind the over 4.5. It's not necessarily that bad. That can make it a lot greasier too. Yeah, and I agree with this too. My God. Victor likes it too. You know what? If you guys like it, it's good enough for me, man. So let's get that last banner up because it's going to tell us that this is available at 9 plus 956 on Draft Kings right now. Let's cash 2 in a row. We got last week's. It was only a 3-legger. One of them got, canceled. It was the Spivak inside the distance line that got canceled. But let's cash 2 in a row, baby. I've taken up too much of your time here. 21 minutes of it. But plus 956, Greasy 4-legger. Let's go, you guys. Thank you for joining me. And we will see you guys next week for UFC 282, headlined by Magomed Ankalaev versus Jan Blachowicz for the 205-pound championship. Keep an eye out for Stat Diggers with me and Brady on Pub Sports Radio, 6:15 Central Time on Sunday night. Let's stack cash tickets like flapjacks for UFC Orlando. God bless each and every one of you guys. I will catch you soon.